Warning: this program contains foul language and the consumption of alcohol. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ready? Okay.
It's going.
That hole's definitely not big enough.
That's what she said.
Terrible. It's been years.
I was done like 5 minutes ago.
I know. Sorry to keep you waiting.
It's all right.
That's so rude.
I think the burp is what it's all about.
That's so rude. I think, as far as my memory goes, and I'd like to say I have a pretty good memory, that I would be I remember the hangovers from like the early days of being hung.
You have a terrible.
I do. Sometimes, but that's the balance. Though.
get out?
Sometimes I'll go a whole race weekend. I'm talking like between me and one other guy, like 100 beers over a couple days.
A lot of water. No, it doesn't matter.
Actually, not even a lot of water. Just like
Lots of sleep.
8 a.m. to like 11 p.m. of just maybe a beer an hour, beer for like 45 minutes or something like that. And
No vinegar.
No.
Absolutely no vinegar.
Yes. Oh, that was a bad one. That was. So let's get into that. We were going.
Should we?
Yeah. So you had called me, I'm sure, because texting didn't exist.
Yeah, I lived in an
if I wa-
apartment
yeah.
off of Carling.
Yeah.
Um,
16th floor. I had after delivering pizza, come and join a poker game with you and some friends, and he introduced me to 7-Up and gin.
I don't remember that at all. I've
And
never had that
so
in my life.
I was drinking 7-Up and gin, Bombay, on the 16th floor of Croydon Avenue.
I introduced you to that?
Yeah, and I remember I was going to the fridge and I was 3 gins deep, and I was like, I feel great, and like if the rest of the night goes like this is gonna be awesome. And then I think after the 4th
never
gin,
drank
we were
that in
ready to
my
go.
life.
We Googled the buses to go to Canada.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah,
I had never
definitely.
used the fucking bus. And like, Cody lives in the city. Like, okay, like whatever. Like, this is what you do. You Google which bus goes where. You go here. You get on. You drop the change in the thing.
Somehow I don't remember most things, but I remember this old man being like, "Yeah, if you wait this amount of time, this bus will get you there." And we were like, "Fuck that! It's right there. I can see it."
So we run down Terry Fox or walk or whatever. It doesn't really matter. We walk down the on-ramp to the, I mean, whatever. We're breaking laws. I know we're breaking laws or whatever, but, nobody got hurt. And we walk down the on-ramp and we cross the 417, but we do it in a little bit of a sprint. You were first. I followed second. And I go down the ditch, and all of a sudden there was this big drop off, and I come up the other side, but it was never cool to tie your shoes. Like, you know what I
Well,
mean?
for you.
Well, but just that what the shoe was. Like, I had like
You had these $300 fucking shoes. They were beautiful. What were they?
I had so I
They were
bought
sexy.
they were iPath Grasshopper
Yeah.
2s,
That's what they were.
Italian leather, badged in sterling silver.
And no one would ever so to come like they're skateboard shoes, but like to bring skateboarding into it, no one would ever fucking skateboard in these $300
I didn't
fucking
even know that there
shoes.
was non $300 iPath Grasshoppers. I was at top of the world, right?
What is a grasshopper?
But hear me out. Top of the world would never have like, oh, I like this shoe. Like, I'm a size 9. Like, well, did you look at the bottom of the shoe? There's
size 9,
only size 7.5, 11, and we have 2 14s. And it's like, fuck.
Well, fuck.
Oh, Greg was with me. Greg. I'm gonna buy these shoes, and so I go to the cash with these shoes, and she opens the box, and like inspect that I'm not stealing anything inside of the shoes. Takes the paper out of the shoe or whatever, and I swear to God, this girl would have married me on the spot because she opens the box. She's
These are the shoes that my husband will wear.
Maybe these are you're gonna tell me you're gonna get married in these shoes, and I was like, Probably will. Before we go any further here, I'd like to send out some thanks to Cody Munro. Give it up. Amateur barbecue champion. We haven't got into that yet. We discussed some beers
Professional
earlier.
life champion.
Professional
Life champion.
life champion.
Yeah.
Never heard of that one before, but I believe it. I subscribe to it. You should too. And Adam Testa, producer of the JoZone. Thank you very much for making this happen. And Vince, sound engineer of Fragment of Frenzy. So what we're going to do here today is shotgun this fucking beer right fucking now. A special way so shit doesn't go everywhere.
You ready?
And I don't know, because the last one didn't go so good, so...
No. Where's my asthma puffer?
It's okay. Excuse me, fuck, I need to survive here. Root for me. Okay, so we got a strip loin steak here, marinated in the grocery store special. It's about, I would say, about an inch thick at best.
It's about 3/4.
And we got just a gorgeous rib steak here. Would you look at that, like boneless? Look at that marbling right there.
That one's beautiful.
All I did was just sprinkle a little salt and pepper on there. Okay, I mean, the simplest go-to. I already did that, I'm just doing it for show. Trust me, I did it the backside too. We're gonna throw these in at 400, 4 minutes per side. And we'll have to check back in later. And I remember that, like, after I looked at the shoe and the price of the shoe, I was like, oh, that's heartbreaking. Like, really? Like, they make shoes that expensive? And I actually remember asking the salesman if, like, could you hold these aside for a second? Because, like, I didn't come here with enough cash. I gotta go to the bank. I gotta pull cash out. And then I went back, and Greg also bought new shoes that day. And
I bet you his weren't as nice.
Looking back on it, I don't know if I would buy $300 shoes again. Because I remember sitting in English class, and guys were making fun of me. Do you have insurance on those shoes? And like, so word had spread around town that I bought $300 shoes. And
oh shit, Joe!
Friday
was like
night
a mark.
after school, Dan picks Tom and I up,
He
and
also
Dan's
doesn't
like,
have
"Joe,
a
I
last
hear you
name.
have $300 grasshoppers." You got ripped off, man. I was like, what are you talking about, man? I bought them on the top of the
Jesus
world.
Christ!
And he's like, I just bought grasshoppers for $129.99. I was like, well, let's see them. And I saw them. I was like, oh. And this was the realization that to see what $130 gets you and what $300 gets you. And by the way, after tax was $345.
Just saying.
Just saying. It's $345, but
Worth
those
it.
shoes last me 4 years. So if you break down,
Well, because
if you spend
barely wore them.
$100 a year, no, I wore them every day.
You
Back
seem like the
to-
type of dude that can keep like, couple pair of boots, couple pair of really nice shoes, like keep them nice with some fucking cleaning and stuff. And that's not me judging. That's me
Mhm.
being like, fuck, I wish I had the time to, or put the time into my shoes like that. Because I fucking love shoes
Oh, I used
and
to. I
boots.
had these pair
I
of
fucking love boots.
S's. What do you call that? How do you pronounce that
S,
brand?
yeah.
S. So I had these S Tribos, white and gray.
See, he knows the
And,
names of them and shit.
yeah,
Like, you're a
yeah.
sneakerhead.
White and gray. And the nose was so pointy, but the tongue was so thick.
Yeah.
The great skate
Old
shoe.
school skate shoes with
Yeah.
the big, fat, thick tongues.
Oh, yeah.
Check this shit, man.
Like Osiris's.
Check this
what
shit.
do you got there?
I just bought these yesterday.
Oh, fresh.
Super fresh.
Look at those threads. No
they're-
gum in them, no dog
No,
poop.
nothing. These are like, I only wore them inside in your house.
Man,
So
indoor
far.
shoes are great.
But check it out. They're Muscas. And they're not meant for skating. They're meant for they're like skate
I don't think
shoes.
these would last like
No. They're
a
like,
day.
they feel like slippers in the inside. They're the most comfortable shit ever. But they're like fly.
lay some rubber.
Yeah. They're cool
Man,
as shit.
Okay, we're
digging
going way
it.
off topic here with the story, but talking about laying rubber in shoes. When I was a kid, man, my mom bought me. I remember at least going through 3 or 4 pairs of Wildcats I got from Giant Tiger.
I don't know what that is.
Velcro, black, purple, and green
So they're
Wildcats.
Velcro.
And I was deep
or-
into Coyote and the Roadrunner. And so when I thought that I'd take off, I thought like dust would spit up behind me. And I was like, Mom, is there dust spitting up behind me?
She's like, yeah,
And we
sure,
had like
whatever.
unfinished plywood floors. So like I
Yeah,
literally thought I
me
could
too.
tear the shit up out of these floors.
Thank you for saying that though. Like,
But what?
The unfinished plywood floors.
Oh man.
Because nobody, when I say that to people, even like fucked up people, they're like, wait a minute, what? You had plywood for a
Were you guys
floor?
poor? Were you
Like-
poor? Were you
Like, no, my parents were just frugal and they built their house into a thing.
Dude,
but like,
I
get,
colored
like,
on the
I get-
walls with permanent markers. I was so obsessed
Yeah.
with passenger
I was
airline jets.
pissed when I saw that shit. I remember as a kid, I was older than you, and I saw that you drew on the wall with permanent marker. I was like, you see this shit? He fucking drew on the whole
Joe
wall.
gets to draw on the walls.
That wasn't even Joe got to. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
No, because like I would never actually see the plane in motion in the sky, but all I'd ever see is these trails, these chemtrails. No, whatever.
You're not even getting,
Contrails.
don't.
So I would just take whatever marker. Like, why did we have permanent markers? We have some whiteboard.
You guys had a whiteboard right
we
there.
did have a whiteboard.
But then for some reason on the whiteboard you had permanent markers.
I probably
And I remember your
was-
mom being like, "Well, Joey drew on the wall."
Well, yeah, I blame it on Mr. Dressup then, because I swear to God, he had a whiteboard and some permanent markers. So I hit the deep spot of the median of the ditch, and I lose my $150 shoe. You hit no, but it was only one shoe, so
Okay,
$150 shoe.
well, $345 shoes.
So 172, 170, 150.
Math.
I'm just guessing. I don't know
Math.
if someone do that. No, 170, 250. Right? Oh no, that would be 50.
160,
We-
250.
No, that would be 350. If 340, 299
Correct.
plus tax.
170, 250.
No, it's not
Goddamn.
correct.
I think the one main vein for you has always been Sabbath. Like
Yeah,
AC/DC has always been there.
Oh yeah,
Sabbath
I didn't even
and Zeppelin,
AC/DC.
but Sabbath has always been the fucking thing that
right
like-
after Sabbath, it was AC/DC for me.
But I think Sabbath has always been the thing.
Yeah.
Right?
So just to interrupt Cody for a second, we're gonna preheat this pan.
We're just gonna
This
cook the
perfectly
fuck out of everything.
non-stick cooking home show pan. I mean, I've cooked eggs in it. I've cooked bacon. I've cooked omelets, pancakes, everything in this pan, and it's everything they said it was gonna be. Like nothing sticks to it. Washing is in a breeze. In like 2 seconds, it's done. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna preheat this pan. So when I pull those steaks out in about 45 seconds, this pan will have some heat to it that'll help it not stick to it. And I don't want to bring the pan to like a full-on. That's the one faulty knob about this.
This fucking goddamn faulty knob. Right?
You know, we're just.
It's the worst.
There we go. Right. That's
Right?
about. That's about right. That's about where I want.
Don't
it
even
right there.
use that fucking burner.
What am I doing? Wait a second.
No,
I already
pay
flipped
attention.
those.
Pay attention.
What? Oh. Okay. All right. You know what? I was gonna. I don't know. I got off track there. We were gonna flat top these steaks
But we're not.
for the camera, but you know, halfway in, I really feel like this video is about this pan, and I just like it's not even hot yet because it's so good.
You
It's
should probably put it back down.
it's radiating the heat away from my skin. You know what we'll do? We're just gonna take a little bit of coconut oil right here. We're just gonna lay a base. Just for a little insurance, and you know what? Just that it might be that little bit of extra something that later on we're like, what is that? Is that coconut? I think it is. I think he used coconut oil in that non-stick pan, and it just beads like synthetic oil off of the. It doesn't even want to stick there on its
Do you
own.
think that's gonna be the thing?
Something like that. You know.
Something like that.
It took me years to figure out what he was saying. Actually,
What does it say?
you know, let's leave it open for interpretation. All right, no more oven gloves. I think we're safe. We're just gonna, you know what? All right, rib steak is on. Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Boom!
We got a straggler. That's gonna be the best part. That's gonna be the taster right there. As you can probably see, I've left this string on the rib steak. It's keeping everything together right now because it's so tender. It's so marbled perfectly that if it wasn't for that string, it'd be like a stew, almost.
Good bread.
I have a bread maker,
Yeah. So do
and I've used it 3 times, and my grandma always says, I know what's in my bread. Do you know what's in yours?
Your grandma also cooked hot dogs on a slow cooker.
No, it wasn't the slow cooker. Yes, it was the base plate of the slow cooker. So this
She
crock
pushed
pot,
me out of the way.
So Cody used to babysit me going way back. And Grandma would come over time to time to do the garden. And Grandpa would also come over to do Dad's taxes or payroll or whatever.
Grandpa was fucking awesome.
I have his tailgate in the garage. I'm gonna make something out of. Grandma took the crock pot. I think that was the brand, crock pot.
It was on
and
like
underneath
a base.
the pot was the flat base, and it was basically like a hot plate.
Yeah.
And Grandma, I don't know what came over her one day, but she was like, "I never used this before, but this creates heat, and I'm cooking hot dogs."
I was
lunch.
babysitting the kids, and she came in and she was just like, "You can do whatever you want. These are my grandkids," kind of thing. And she was just like cooking.
No.
She was just like, "I'm gonna cook hot dogs." And I remember being like, "That's not a hot dog cooker."
I was like, I want
like
Kraft Dinner or Mr. Noodles. It was Kraft Dinner, either white President's Choice Kraft Dinner or orange KD.
It was KD every day, and you and Jason would have
Mr.
a
Noodles
race who would eat it first. Like,
Sega,
I win.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 every day. But
That's a 90s upbringing.
Let's start right from the beginning of the day. You'd come over at 7:30. Bobby's World be on.
No, I would come over at 7.
Okay.
You guys would be
World.
sleeping. I would sleep as long as possible because you were sleeping. Your parents were gone. And then as soon as you guys would wake up, you'd be like, "Hey, let's watch Bobby's World."
Bobby's World, and then after that was
Louis.
Life with Louis.
Life with Louis is my favorite.
So
man.
7:30 to 8.
All right,
8 o'clock
pizza!
was pretty sure it was Maury Povich. And then 9 o'clock was the first airing of Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
And then 10 o'clock was Sally Jesse Raphael. 11 o'clock was the second running of Jerry Springer.
Jesus.
11 to noon. But there was also conflicting Price is Right on 11 at noon.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is like I basically was a horrible babysitter because all you can remember is every TV show that was on.
12 to 1 we played Sonic.
We played Sonic, but we'd also go outside and like.
But wait before we went there. 12 to 1 was Sally Jesse Raphael.
Camilla Scott.
Camille Scott came on at 3.
Oh,
and so
shit.
from 1 to 3, we would play outside hitting fly balls or soccer balls or whatever. And then, you know what? The drop of 2:58, Camille Scott's on! And then, as far as to my knowledge, that's where the...
I have no idea. I don't remember. But
That
like,
Camilla Scott... That's where that came from. Whatever that is, if that even still exists today, if that's so 90s or whatever. And then you know what? 5 o'clock, Ricky Lake.
Yeah, Ricky Lake was on.
Ricky Lake was on. Jerry Springer was always cheating.
Hey!
Sally Jesse was boot camp. Camilla Scott was like a little bit of variety of...
Okay, Camilla Scott was 100% fake.
Yeah.
Even though
They
all
were
those
all
shows were
fake.
fake, Camilla Scott was the Canadian version that was totally fake, and she was an actor on other things.
Oh, I'd love to Google her now because...
She acted in a bunch of like I think like Happy Gilmore or fucking Adam Sandler movies and shit.
She did?
Yeah, if it wasn't them, she definitely acted in other things. It was Camilla Scott.
So
She was a Toronto actor.
Toronto actor. The only Camilla Scott episode that comes to mind that I recall vividly was the Celebrity Lookalike episode where they had David Schwimmer lookalike and Jerry Seinfeld lookalike.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, here's another one. I think we were splitting wood or piling wood way in the backyard. 2.5 acre property. I could hear the phone ring from the very back corner of the property through double sliding patio doors. I was like, oh, phone's ringing. And I would run and I would answer before like the 7th ring or something.
Dude, I used to answer that shit when I was babysitting you because my girlfriend was calling.
Who was your girlfriend at the time?
Evelyn.
Yeah. I remember Evelyn.
I remember that shit. I was just like running in. I was just like, hey.
Yeah.
You had the one phone outside of the kitchen.
Yeah. And I remember your sister babysitting at times. And,
she ran over the fucking cord.
with the lawnmower.
Yeah.
And then Dad would, but do you remember when you put your foot through the wall and Dad was like, well, you want
Yeah,
pizza?
I remember that though, like that was yesterday.
Cody, you want pizza?
Yeah, he was just like, you guys are messing around. So here's my deal.
Yeah. You got a deal?
I don't really have a deal.
All right, I think we're going to flip.
Yeah. Flip that guy. Because, like, look at that crust you got. So the string's gone, doesn't matter. You're looking beautiful.
Our rib steak just split in two. It was so tender. So, you know, it goes to show, don't trust the grocery store string, keeping everything intact.
It looks gorgeous. Flip this guy.
Oh, look at that.
Definitely don't trust the grocery store on this shit.
I think we should almost just finish it off in the oven for like 20 seconds.
100%. They all look really beautiful. And they smell really good.
See, this might be song number 2 of Warning, Black Sabbath. I'm just going to take a quick peek here. 4 minutes in. Yeah, this is definitely song number 2 of 3 of Black Sabbath's The Warning on side 1 on Black Sabbath.
I'm just saying, this is a thing about my life.
I don't know. Actually, it might be on side 2. I'm not sure.
Joe,
but
you're looking beautiful here.
You know, I agree. And
look at this shit. These steaks are unbelievable.
So I so dramatically threw the previous pan into foil in the sink to make a point.
That's all right.
We're actually going to throw this actual pan in the oven. You know, fear not, because even though I don't know, this might be plastic, but like, I'm only literally going to put it in there for, oh my god, like.
Here's a good restaurant
Not even
trick.
enough to finish my sentence.
Here's a good restaurant trick. Sear, and then pan in the oven. That's a restaurant trick.
Oh, I already got one out. Look at that. Past Joe's looking out for future Joe. We got the pan here. Oh, yeah. Oh, I even still have this burner on. Look at that. See that button I just pushed there? Like, man, everything is designed right down to a T here. Dissipate that heat. That's right. You know what? I'm just going to let that rest. Just like that, off the heat. So join me over here, if you would. I don't want to cross-contaminate tools, so I don't know what I got really left here. Just improvise. You know, I'm going to want this for later. Pick that up later there. We're going to move on to the chicken wings now. We're going to separate them. I don't know if you're a flat guy or a drumstick guy, but I gotta say that I know a lot of my friends are going flat these days, but my childhood memories that created who I am today, part of my upbringing, was that little piece of cartilage that hangs on after you take that wraparound piece on the drumstick. You know, is it meat? Is it tendon? Is it whatever? I don't know, but it puts up a fight and it leaves an impression on me. And I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about right now.
That's bullshit. Everybody likes it.
Isn't it weird when you go to the grocery store and you buy those chicken wings and like that little third tip is still attached? Nope. You're like, oh shit, it's too much like a bird.
You know what's the worst part? That one.
Come on.
You know what's the best part? That one.
Okay.
And I will make you a fucking believer.
Okay, you know what, Cody?
You want me?
I've heard enough of your.
You want me to do it?
No.
It's all about the fucking.
What? Wait, you want to flip those right now?
No, I don't want to flip them. I'm trying to tell you this is where it's at.
I'm gonna flip these right now. It's these steaks just are continuing resting.
Yeah, your steaks are ready.
Yep.
They are beautiful.
I'm not ready to show them to you yet because they're still resting.
Because you're.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All I'm saying is the flats are where it's at.
Yeah,
Everybody has their own
I
opinion.
believe the last time I saw you, you were a converted flat man.
Yeah, definitely a flat man. Can you tell me why you like the drums? You like the cartilage?
To be honest, I don't know if I really like. Obviously, they taste the same.
Nope.
They're like, I think they taste the same, but it's just that little bit extra work of like getting the front teeth, the incisors, into that middle bone and pulling that meat out without the vein if you can. Because when you think about it,
the word incisors to me is like that's a lot of work.
See, the incisors are the actual plant-eating food. We're omnivores, so we have the canines, we have the incisors, we have the molars. So we're actually, through evolution, if you subscribe to that theory,
okay,
that's.
I don't want to get heated.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, when you can submit to the flats, you put the whole thing in your mouth. You pull the two bones out, and then it's just meat there.
So those steaks are pretty much done. We're gonna toss these wings and the chicken thighs in right now. Top rack, middle rack. We're gonna alternate in between.
Middle rack, sure.
And my stopwatch is currently at 20 minutes, 23 seconds. We have not hit stop or anything. We're just.
I think you're You're doing good.
You know what? I can cook edible things. Look at this sacrilege spatula that hit the beer contaminated floor. We're just gonna give it a quick rinse. Make sure it's sanitized. I remember my first skateboard.
I remember your first skateboard.
My first,
because I fucking skated it all the time.
my first official board was it was $74 at Toys R Us, Nash board.
What?
And
How the fuck do you remember that?
but it didn't take long for me to realize that this wasn't a real skateboard.
It sucked, man. It was like this thick.
Oh man,
I
but
know what it looks like. I skated it every day.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if I still had it somewhere at my
You
parents'
probably
place.
do.
But my real like legit skateboard was an Arsenal deck.
Yeah, I remember it.
I
I remember
had-
that shit. It was. I think I have it.
I have it. It's downstairs
Oh, you have
right
it.
now.
It's yellow.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring them all up. So one day, high school at lunch, me and Dustin. I won't say last name.
Who's
but
Dustin?
Dustin James.
Oh, okay.
I said his last name. Me and Dustin walked to the Elmont Sports Store, and I put together a deck, and I started running out of money after Arsenal deck. It was $79 because most of the mainstream decks there were
Yes.
$89.99.
Look at this shit.
Okay, so
This one sucks.
yeah. So okay, what we got here? This is a zero.
That's a zero.
board.
I
Yeah.
want to skate that right now. Dude,
Okay, we got.
can I have it?
We have a zero deck here, a Josh Brockman deck. We got Indy lightweight trucks. We got
Those are fucking indies?
yeah, these are Indies.
Indies made white trucks.
Yeah, and so the Indies I had on this deck were the heavy. Like Indies were great trucks, so you told
heavy.
me, but they were heavy.
I like them heavy.
And
I'm
so
like the old guy now. I'm
Yeah.
the old guy, bald
Yeah.
skater. I
So,
like fucking heavy trucks.
this deck, I did not have shock absorbers like this deck had
Yeah, I
off
like
the
those.
bat, but I only had the deck, the Indy trucks, the blank bearings, and the blank wheels right off the bat. And I think I want to say it cost me tax in like 130. Right, so.
Your trucks are terrible.
But I remember like setting that board aside at lunch that day, and then Saturday morning at 8 a.m. when the doors opened at Elmont Sports Store, me and Mom, we went to buy it, and then I don't know where you were working, if you were working
JR's.
at JR's, but that early in the morning, because I remember meeting you on the street, or we called you somehow to come meet us to check out my skate deck or
I always
something.
loved that. Your mom would be like, "Cody, is it a good skateboard?"
Oh man, if we even go,
was so
we want to go
sweet.
back further.
It was
We're
so
talking
sweet.
grade 3. I was in grade 3. You would have been in grade 6. Stittsville Flea Market. Okay, your mom took me, you, and Chad to the Stittsville Flea Market,
true.
and I bought a
Jesus.
liquid T-shirt with a Marlboro. I still have the chain wallet and the Marlboro wallet. I have the exact wallet, and I have a brand new replica.
Dude,
of
I
the
remember
same
it.
wallet.
I bought fucking Alien Workshop T-shirts that day, but they were super rip-off.
For whatever reason, we were called for like special reading classes, and
What does that even mean?
I felt like it was detention for something. But we're sitting in this like class, like we would be grabbed for like I don't know a couple times a week to go to this room down the hall from the office, and it was like for reading impaired kids. But I always read really well, and I mean,
We're
I'm
gonna
not
get
even,
into this.
I'm not. At the time, I read really well. I would read to because I was so scared of public speaking events, and
Yeah.
that I would read Dr. Seuss and Mortimer
grade
and
seven.
Robert Munch. Robert Munch books.
I read all kinds of Robert Munch and fucking Dr. Seuss books this week. Just saying. I love them.
Mortimer, the snowsuit.
I have that one. He's kind of a bitch. Mortimer.
You know, yeah, Mortimer's not quite what I remember Mortimer being.
He's
Kind of whiny.
Well, look at his face.
I mean, he had like 17 brothers and sisters.
Like, Mortimer. Really? I don't remember that.
That's what
part.
the book said or something. 17 or 18 brothers and sisters.
It could be 3, it could be 8,000.
But okay, if we're talking about childhood books, I have a childhood book, Joey and the Magic Hockey Skates.
I remember that shit.
So I always got used or the thrift shop or whatever you want to call it, the hub it was called. But I mean, I don't know what you call it in mainstream. Anyway, my mom would always come home with used skates, and it would have like Bauer and then like the number, like there would be some number on the back of the skate. And I always thought I was getting like retired professional hockey players' skates. And part of Joey and the Magic hockey skates was like part of like used skates being magical and like better for you, and like you wouldn't get blisters and whatever. So, and you know what? Honestly, I was probably getting a better skate than I would for the same money. You were. You know what I mean? But I never got tax. I never got anything above like the Bauer.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But you know what I see is your parents being amazing parents to their children and being like, you are the greatest person and you get awesome things, and just like building this awesome thing to you. That's what I see. It's like they were.
All right, we're bringing these
Joseph.
These steaks right off the pan. All right, so if your barbecue is buried in snow, or if you're out of propane, or if you don't have one. Look, I went 3 years without a barbecue recently. I made it work. Right from the get-go, I knew that this would be the piece to keep your eye on, because there he goes. How is it?
Hey, it's fucking delicious. It hits all those notes.
I get
salty,
this one?
savory.
Oh. Look at that. That string that was hanging on before.
Yeah, pull that shit off.
Make sure you do not consume that, as tempting as it is. Yeah, get in there. Oh, this one. This is number 2. Okay, I believe we cut number 1 at the right time. Look at this. Oh, I didn't even cut the whole steak yet. There it is. There it is, right now. Look at that. Look at that. As I look at the clock, it's 26:56, meaning the chicken has been in for about 7 minutes now. Shy of 20 seconds. Okay?
Nice job.
There you go. Number 3. This is the one we're waiting for right here. Right here. This has been the Moneyball, you know, that movie everybody talks about where with analytics and stuff. Look at that. Look at that right there. Get into that. Look how it's perfectly seared.
That one right there was crazy.
Look at that. Let's go on. I haven't even had one yet. And here we go. Yeah. No surprises there. I knew it was as good as I thought it would be. That's right. Okay, we're going to finish cutting the steak here. We're going to spread the wealth. You know what? The blade of the knife just touched my finger there, and I could tell that I had loosely sharpened it. I'm not even laboring. Like, it wants to split in half before I've cut all the way through it.
I'm gonna take this.
Like, absolutely. Do you know how good that would be on a sandwich?
Yeah, I do. It would be delicious.
It would be like on an artisan bread, or like a, fuck, we could even make some bread.
That shit right there was fucking bomb.
Okay, and you know what the pros do? So that they don't cut their fingers, is that they almost knuckle the meat like that, so they don't cut their finger, they don't expose their fingertips.
Well, you should be doing that every time.
But here I am doing it left-handed. Very risky move. Very risky move. Okay, we successfully did it there. I wouldn't recommend it. We have this one guy left over. We're making a mess of the plate here, presentation-wise.
You've done a really good job.
But I'm doing it for the camera. Okay, left-handed. Just look at that. This is steak number 1 that we cut. This was like, oh, I'm almost through it here. There it is. Okay, I would say that's like medium well right there.
Yeah, right there.
But no fear eating that. That's going to make everybody happy right there.
Why would you have fear? It's delicious. It's beautiful.
Oh, I mean, either this knife is really sharp.
Look at that one.
Or this meat just wants to be eaten. You were wearing your Toronto Maple Leafs jersey, and I was wearing my LA Kings jersey. Yep. And there was a lot of snow on the rink. And we didn't bother shoveling it off, but we just played through the rink. And you had to be the home team. You drew the maple leaf in the
Yeah,
ice.
I was like 8 years old.
Yeah, you
I remember
were definitely Doug Gilmore, and I was Wayne Gretzky.
I totally was. That was my dude. Yeah, and Rod, Rod was
sorry,
the guy that,
but just about Wayne Gretzky and Doug Gilmore, the conference finals when supposedly Wayne Gretzky high sticked Happy Gilmore, Doug Gilmore,
Happy Gilmore.
and then went on to win or score the game winning goal to send the LA Kings to the Stanley Cup versus the Montreal Canadiens, 1992.
I want to know more about this, but I'm going to say I'm such a loser. I don't care enough that I don't know anything about it. I actually don't know anything about it. What? That sounds very like
I got
a big deal.
Well, I got table hockey for Christmas that year. That was
And your dad put
LA.
that on you. He was like, Doug fucking Gilmore.
Yeah. You're a Canadiens fan. Me,
Yeah.
you, your brother, and Uncle Steve are going to Montreal to watch a hockey game.
Uncle Stevie.
So we took the train to Montreal, and this actually happened. We took the train to Montreal, and on the Via Rail train, we got this like foam, like Lego fake train, like on the train to play with. And then we get to Montreal, and we're walking around the streets. And we bought these wooden like mini sticks, but they were bigger than mini sticks. And we went to the Forum when nobody was there and watched the Zamboni go around. And then, so like, I didn't know this at the time, but the Forum had standing room. So you might have had a ticket in standing room, but didn't mean you actually had a seat. So we were at the rafters of the Forum, but me on my dad's shoulders and Jason on Stevie's
Jesus
shoulders
Christ.
watching Montreal Canadiens take on the Detroit Red Wings. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Detroit won
Your
like 4-2.
childhood is way more entertaining than mine.
Oh man.
In those Rod moments where he's like, nope, we're doing it.
Oh man. Dad, like, so my mom worked night, like shift work a lot. So
Rod's
dad,
like, yeah, I got the boys.
Yeah.
We're going to Montreal.
we're going to the sandbox. We're going to play with a bunch of Tonka trucks and we're going to build a city. You're playing wrong. You don't know how to build a road. I was racing dump trucks around and around. Is that how you would like me to treat your toys? Oh, okay. I won't ruin the road anymore, Dad, with the Tonka truck. I'll use the proper tool for that. I'll use the grader, and then I'll use the compactor, and then I'll use the grader again. And we had a special sandbox. We didn't have sand for a sandbox. We had marble dust.
Yeah, definitely
Marble dust.
Yeah, it was good.
White
You're
sand.
hurting me.
Toys in the Attic was great too. Toys in the Attic. Oh, here we go.
Debatably their best album.
Yeah, but again, with all Zeppelin, Aerosmith, and Sabbath, both their first and second album was recorded in like less than 36 hours, and the second album was always an extension of the first. They had too many songs to fit on one album. That the second album was basically a product of overflow.
Yeah. But
Get in
super
there.
good.
Get in there, Vince.
Like get in there. Yoink.
What does that clock say beside you? Oh, 10 minutes. We'll wait a little bit longer to flip that chicken, I think. Just a little.
I fucking love that lyric too. Get yourself a cooler, lay yourself low.
So, I was shopping around for some beers earlier. I have no idea if this is a Pilsner Ale. Oh, it's an ale.
It's an L for sure.
But when I bought it, oh, Lancaster Bomber. Okay, Canadian. British, whatever. Same thing. I figured, in recent memory, I can't remember sampling it, but I thought, let's get something to display there. And I'm pretty, like, you viewers at home probably drinking more beer than me, but I just thought something, a little bit more camera friendly and a little bit outside of the norm. So I bought this from my local Los Libio, think it was $2.90 a can, which is about typical, right?
That's a very good English style.
You've had this one before.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. I don't just drink bullshit beers.
Thought maybe I was keeping Lancaster Bomber in business.
No, it's good.
A typical Friday night for me growing up was ordering pizza, mom and dad having a few beers after work out in the garage, and dad on his 15-inch trainer speakers would play The Doors. Break on through to the other side.
Hey, it's Friday night.
And it was just like me and my brother just fucking burning as much energy as possible, running in circles, just going crazy. We're getting pizza! Pepsi!
Just little kids.
Just kids being kids, man.
But totally, though. You guys were like, yeah.
You remember New Year's
fuck
Eve,
yeah,
too?
It's Friday.
So, I just recently learned this. Do you remember New Year's Eve at my house? Big party.
Yeah.
We were well, that was every year, but watching like WWF, Ultimate Warrior highlights and shit.
I don't
My
remember
fucking
that.
cat died. His dog didn't like Panda.
So he ate the cat?
No. So Dad put Panda in the garage, and Panda started licking the salt off the vehicle
Oh, God.
and died from salt. I guess
That sounds...
it's tough. I just recently learned that. You know, I thought Panda just died New Year's Eve.
Yeah, she was fucked up. It's a good
But
piece
Panda and Meerkat were sisters.
Yeah, Sparky.
Sparky and Panda, yeah. Yours was like white, gray, and
We had some
black.
crazy ass bitchy cats that lasted forever.
Yeah.
Like for like 20 years.
And I think it was like
Crazy
since
ass
we got
bitch
Panda spayed that she was unpettable. Like she would, I remember waking up in the middle of one night and Panda's face was sniffing my face. And I was scared to move because if I made one false move,
That's kind of weird.
she would, you know what I mean? Like swipe my face or something, because I would make forts for Panda and like carry her in, like force her in the fort, like enjoy what I fucking built for you. And she wouldn't want anything to do with it. She would freak out and do like one of those cat like football like endos and just go
Yeah, she
fucking
was
ape
crazy.
shit. And then all of a sudden Panda, she got worms one Christmas. Underneath the Christmas tree, she had worms. And that might have been the same year she died, I'm not sure, but because New Year's and Christmas is not so far apart, but
It's pretty close.
I don't know. I feel like we went natural path with Panda, and we could have saved her maybe.
She was a really sweet cat. Like she was around when I was a little kid.
Yeah. Well, Sparky, they're sisters, man.
Yep.
Look in your eyes. Oh, you really don't mind. The look in your eyes.
There it is. All right, now we're gonna flip. Oh man. Oh man. This is like a sweet poem of honey and justice. Very good. just go about your business flipping these wings. I mean, I got no worries about how these are gonna turn out. Just like that. No sticking. And that's the thing, when you got frozen, when you're cooking frozen wings or something, you're gonna have that frozen moisture bond to the tinfoil. No matter how much oil or whatever spray you spray down, brandy stick, nah. Go fresh or go home. Stephen Tyler's coming back. Right? In case you didn't know, I was lip syncing there because I just didn't feel I could do Stephen Tyler any justice this time of night in this shape and condition. If you think you can, you know what? Feel free. Email me at the JoZone Layer at gmail.com and be a guest on the show. You know, don't be afraid. We can make your dreams come true too. Alright, you know what? Unfortunately, This episode's just running a little too long. I know that you have all the faith in me in the world that this chicken is going to come out as ideal and picturesque as the steak did. So I'll tell you all about it in the next episode. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And please do me a favor and like, follow, and subscribe. Leave a comment below and tell me what you'd like to see on the JoZone Layer. And like I said before, if you want to be a guest in the JoZone Layer, just email me at thejozonelayer@gmail.com. I really don't know if I've actually created that email. I'm just hoping it's available. So, you know, don't email too quickly because I might need a little bit of lead time to create that. But all in all, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure that none of us are going to get meat poisoning tonight and we're all going to enjoy a nice little meal. So, thanks very much and cheers, everybody. Signing off from the JoZone. Here we go.